Hello everyone and welcome to another weekly video. My name is Jordan and today, as per our tradition, on Mondays we're going to cover some of the most interesting examples and setups from the previous week. I'm currently at the srstrendrider.com website, where under the performance you will be able to see these two buttons here for SRS Pro and respectively SRS Trendrider 2. Under each of these strategies names, of course, you can see the table, which contains screenshots and additional textual data. So the previous week started from the 22nd up until 26th, which means we can pretty much be starting from here. And if we go to page 2, yeah, this is previous week. So plenty of trades we can talk about, right? Plenty of examples. Let's start from the top and we'll see where we stop. First one, Euro Yen. This is the 1 hour chart right here. Mixed sentiment and mixed momentum. And by mixed, I mean that we are not getting 3 out of the 3 arrows on the different time frames pushing in the same direction. And this already becomes question to myself, at least. Daily chart, we can see that only now just the very last candle pushed to the downside. Before that, we're looking at bullish candles. So this was that equals to probably a situation where the price might not be yet reversed on all the time frames. Okay, so this is the first thing to be mentioned when you're looking at this kind of setups. Now, besides that, we can see that the price is clearly trending down. 4 hour chart and 1 hour chart confirming this situation. And the setup here could be developed in 2 parts. First of all, ABC structure, where we have trend lines. Second of all, we have the ABC, which is completed right here next to the previous zone and this zone right here. And we have this level. And this is a pretty clean and obvious level right here. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see it on the video, but there is a spike right here, which means the absolute extreme of that zone is right there. Regardless of that, this is the place where we would like to see the price pushing below and breaking below, right? So that could be also kind of step trading here included. Of course, this is not going to be the 1 hour chart setup. This is going to be on the lower time frames, but I just wanted to mention the level because this is extremely important. If you see this level being broken, and then you have the trend line right there, I think that makes a very good setup. This one pushed almost immediately to the upside, so you get the point here. Pound Kiwi, bullish setup. And here, what I would be looking at immediately is that the sentiment is extremely bullish. Momentum, just 1 out of the 3 is showing bearish arrow. And then look at this. Bullish, bullish everywhere. So what we can see is that the price broke out of this previous range, previous consolidation, and we're making new highs compared to this high. Once that happened, the price started consolidating in again some kind of channel here, much smaller in terms of pips, but I would treat this as consolidation, which means what we're looking at here, I'm not sure if this is absolutely adequate trend line. For me, this is not an adequate trend line, not an adequate ABC. It's a simple range. And furthermore, if we attempt to draw a trend line here between these values, that wouldn't be making too much sense to me because of that. We have 2 candles, 2 huge candles, and then all that is in between. So maybe on the 15-minute chart, that might be technically correct, right? But overall, I wouldn't bother with that. Now, if we consider it as a range, And of course, I'm not saying my view is the only view or the correct way to look at it. But again and again, we're talking about context. And the context here is that we're bullish, which is the overall situation. We're looking for buys, okay? Whether this is correct or not is not that relevant, not that important. If you understand the bigger picture, which is that you should be looking for buys based on this, right? Or if you implement some kind of manual analysis, you should be looking for buys. If you're looking for buys, that means ABC or a range doesn't matter. This is the level right here, which you should see holding. If this level is broken, then it makes no sense, right? You don't want to be involved. At least I wouldn't want to be involved if the price starts doing something like that, because then you don't know, is it going to break, pull back and go to the next zone, or is it going to be a false break and then continuation? You don't know. That's why we have stops. Okay, we want to see the price holding that level. Yeah, so basically that's about the pound Kiwi setup. Then we have dollar cut, another bullish setup. This one is kind of straightforward. We have ABC structure, trend line breakout, pullback, change to green, to red, and then we have this candle switching back to bullish, right? And also attempting to break the previous high. Now, I would also start looking at structures here. And one way to look at this is that we already have a fifth 5-leg structure here like this. Another way would be to look at it like that. But overall, the idea is that we're looking at possible continuation to the upside. Pushed lower, and that would be taking stops here. Aussie dollar. Now, starting again from the structures, this is something I would be careful about, right? Because even if this is very strong bearish momentum, as the monitors are suggesting, if we get a 5-leg structure against, we might be looking at deeper pullbacks before further continuation lower. And that's the first thing I would be really paying attention to. Then if we take a look at that, it is slightly above it, but technically speaking, it could be considered a double top, right? Or if you want to look at it as a 5-leg structure, pretty much giving us the same thing. The bottom line here is that it breaks the low, okay? And this level, we can see it here, and probably this level, which makes up this entire zone. So we're basically bouncing off of this thing and looking at breakout and potential continuation. Again, the only consideration I might have here is that the price might be looking at deeper wave, creating first, second, and third, rather than immediately continuation lower. Okay, because of this price action. That's it. Then we have another Aussie dollar. This one I'm not a huge fan, because the way I see it, this is first wave, pullback, and then we have consolidation. I wouldn't really treat this as ABC, okay? I simply wouldn't. And if you treat it as an ABC, then you have, of course, a trend line breakout, and this is your breakout candle. But yeah, besides that, it's pretty straightforward. One more thing here is that we're again completing a structure which, once completed, is supposed to deliver ABC. And again, I don't see that as the big ABC structure I would be expecting after this push. Okay, I would be expecting something deeper, coming closer to this level, or approximately this level. Okay, something like that. So definitely we'll be looking for sells from slightly higher levels, and this I would be skipping. But again, I mean, different types of traders, different risk tolerance, the way we're seeing the actual structures and the way you count the actual structures is subjective. So it is what it is, right? This is how the market works. Euro pound, we can see that the price is forming bullish structure here. This is the 15-minute chart alone. So we can't really speak of the higher time frames until we go ahead and check them, but at least on the lower time frames, the price is pushing higher, right? Push, consolidation, 4-hour to 1-hour chart. Everything in terms of indicators looks more or less good besides this 1-hour chart momentum. And that would be overall the point where we can start looking for breakouts out of this zone, okay, and start looking for potential buys. Now, the tricky part here is that we don't have a real high to work with. This is some sort of high, but again, it's not like a swing high or anything that could be confirming a real breakout like here, for example, right? Or this high. And as I said, tricky also because look where we have a level. And buying right in front of that zone, for me personally, is risky, right? The least I would be expecting is for the price to provide a pullback. And the way I would be handling that is if the price provides a pullback rather than shooting immediately to the upside, I would wait for this pullback, see if we hold the previous low, which is right here, right next to this zone, right? And if it does, then I might be protecting conservatively here, or whatever the newly formed low would be, I might aggressively protect that and then attack above this zone. Okay, because then you're trying to turn this level into a support rather than buying into the resistance. So in this case, it wouldn't be happening. As we can see, the price pretty much broke immediately to the upside, right? What could be done here is actually better. I mean, look at this. It breaks. This is now your supportive zone. So I would be honestly attacking right here with this breakout. Aggressive protection fails. Conservative protection holds. Because this is the newly formed low, right? So if you want to be looking at aggressive entries with tinier protection in terms of stop loss, in terms of pips, I mean, and be able to cash out approximately here somewhere, then we gotta be doing it aggressively. Plus you have this zone right here. So protection aggressive below this one makes sense. In this case, as we can see, fails, right? So again, just my point of view. I'm not saying it's the only way or the correct way. All right, guys, I'm going to stop here. We have a few more trades which are not covered. If you have any questions regarding any of these setups or the ones that you can see before that, make sure to leave us a comment or drop a comment in the Telegram group and we'll be happy to reply. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you in the next video.